Hi folks, Rodney Creator from Programmers Institute here. I left off in my last video giving you a challenge to see if you could add an addition and a subtraction button to the little app, and so I'm going to take it from there, and I will quickly show you how I would have done it myself so you can compare it to how you may have done it. Anyway, we use copy and paste quite a bit here and then change things, and that'll help speed everything up. And for your work, you should probably think about doing some of the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and copy these two buttons. I'm going to put them above, paste them above, and change this to addition, and change this one to subtraction. Okay, and that way, see, to me it makes more sense to have the addition, subtraction, then the multiply, then the divide, and I'm doing it the same way downward. All right, I'm going to be doing some other things too besides doing these buttons in this video. Now, we'll be doing some layout work to make this thing look a lot better. Okay, so once you've got the two buttons declared, of course, the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure they get created in memory when the application starts up. So I'm going to copy these and paste and change just like I did above, and just change the name. Okay, pretty simple, straightforward. Alright, like that. There, now they're going to be made in memory. And then we continue to move down, and we're going, let's see, okay, they're in there. Okay, so now we're going to move down here a ways, and the next step is we're going to take and put the text on the buttons. Okay, so we'll just copy these two buttons right here. Alright, and copy them, and I'll insert them in the front just because, like I say, it makes more sense to me to have addition than subtraction. So addition, okay, and subtraction. If you've created a similar solution, then you can A-C-T-I-O-M, there we go, subtract, gotta spell it right. Okay, if you've created a similar solution, of course, you can just go ahead on the video a little bit and see the solution, how I've got it already. So subtraction button. Now that we got to change the text in those two, so we'll make sure this is plus, and we'll make sure this one is minus right there. Alright, those two are done. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to add those click listeners. So each one of those buttons needs a click listener. So again, we'll just copy these two like this, copy, and right above we'll insert and change this to addition, and it's going to need, we'll make another click listener called addition clicked. Okay, addition clicked, and then that's not made yet, so you're getting a red squiggly, and this one will be subtraction, subtraction button, and subtraction clicked. There. Okay, now we'll create two new click listeners in a minute. Okay, moving on down, we want to add those two buttons to that button layout so that they fall in front of these two. So in order to add them to fall in front, we'll put them ahead. We'll add those first, and they'll fall in front of the other two. Now everything's going to center because we told that layout, the gravity, to center that layout. So I'm going to copy these two and paste and then modify, and we'll just change this to addition and this one to subtraction, like that. Okay, now that'll put those two in this layout. Okay, at that point we also are going to want to size the buttons down here as well. Alright, so we'll go ahead and we'll scroll down a little bit, and I'll just again copy these two lines because that, oops, there I go, there, okay. We'll copy those two lines, copy, and paste them in, and change the names on them. So you can see that you can do these things in bulk. Once you make one and you get it to work and you test it, then you can go ahead and do the rest if you've got multiple things. Like that. Okay, so now you got your subtraction, addition and subtraction. Now they're both sized at 50. We're going to want to add the click listeners next. And this is actually pretty easy. Now, the only thing we're going to change in those two click listeners is this function right here. Instead of multiplying, we're just going to add or subtract. So this one's specialized, the divide one, because we had that divide by 0 problem. So we're going to copy the multiply one because it's a simple change. So copy it. And I'm going to put it ahead, the two click listeners ahead of the other ones. Just because, again, it makes logical sense to keep things in order in all parts of your program. And I'm going to paste it, and I'm going to turn around and paste another one right afterwards, like that. Then we're going to come up and change the names. So this will be addition. Okay, and in the addition click listener, everything's exactly the same, except instead of multiplying, we're going to add the two together. And same thing with the subtract. Okay, subtraction clicked. And here, we'll go ahead and we'll put a minus sign. And now you have all four click listeners in here. Addition, subtraction, multiply, and divide. Alright, that should take care of everything that we need to do in order to get this thing to work properly. So I'm going to go ahead and run it up. And we will see how it looks at this point. Okay, so here we go. Run it. Say OK. And then we'll go ahead and we'll take a look and see how it looks. And it should pop up for us. And okay, come on. There we go. There you go. You have your addition, subtraction, multiply, and divide. Now, you might want to change the size on these fonts to make them a little bigger so they're more visible. I'll show you some of these techniques here in a minute. So I'll just go ahead and I'll put two numbers in there again. Let's go ahead and we'll go 7 here. Okay. So click. Put a 7 in there. And click. And we'll put, we'll go 5 there. There. Okay. So now, if we add the two together, we should get 12. And that's what we get. If we subtract 5 from 7, we should get 2, yeah. If we multiply them, 35. There you go. And if we divide them, we should get 1 point something here. Or 1.4. Okay. So you see now that it all works. Everything functions properly. Alright, now we got, that's how I made the solution for adding those extra buttons. The next step that we're going to do is let's go ahead and change some of the padding. We're going to change a little bit of the distance between here and here because those are kind of squashed. So let's go ahead and let's put a little space in here, and I'll show you how to put some space. Think of this as there's a label box around here, and what we're going to do is we're going to say, okay, put some padding in there or some space above that particular label, okay, and push this down a little bit. Alright, so to do that, we'll go over here to our answer text, where we've got our sizing, right here are 20 units. Okay, we're going to take and say answer text, okay, and we're going to say set padding, oops, set padding. Notice now you can just press enter. Okay, now notice you can set the padding to the left padding, the top padding, the right padding, and the bottom padding. So you can put padding all the way around this thing in different and to push it wherever you need it to go. For our purposes, I'm not going to put any padding to the left or the right or the bottom, just to the top. All right, so the left I'm going to make it 0. Okay, the top. Now the top, let's go ahead and put it about 20. That'll push it down a little ways. And then the right and the bottom again will just go 0 on those two. There you go. Like that. Okay, let's run it. Let's see what it looks like, just so you can see. Yes, and we'll see how that, oh, Okay, there we go. And in a second it'll pop up and you'll see what it looks like. Okay. After we do this, then I'm going to show you how we can put a little banner right above here. Okay, so we're going to get rid of this thing eventually, and we're going to put our own custom banner above everything. But notice now we've pushed down that answer text. See that? That's what this padding does right here. 20 on top. Alright, let's go ahead and insert a banner above this edit text. Alright, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to create a text. We're going to make a label and put it above, and we're going to resize the label so that it's larger and it puts forward what our little device is about. So let's go to the top of our code and let's create another text view, and we'll call this banner text. Okay, so text view, and we'll call it banner text, like that. Alright, now let's create that in memory, and again notice we're doing a lot of the same things as we go along here. We're declaring it, we're creating it in memory, then we're doing the formatting, and then we're placing it into our app. So banner text is going to equal a new text view, and we'll put it, have it belong to this particular running of the program. Alright, so there we've created the banner text. Alright, now after we've created the banner text, then we'll go ahead and we'll create a new section. Notice here, if you look down through here, I'm dealing with the answer text here. I'm dealing with the layouts here. I'm dealing with the number text here. Okay, I'm dealing with answer text again right here. I could actually categorize these both together. Matter of fact, I'm going to do that real quick just so that it makes more sense. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and cut that and put it right underneath here, like that. That way everything's all grouped together. When you're doing this code, you gotta try to kind of keep things together so that things make sense. Okay, so we've done our formatting and such for our answer text, our layouts, our number text. Layouts were first, so in order to make things, again, more sense, I'm going to go ahead and cut this. I'm going to cut it and put it under the layouts, because we want to do layouts first. It just makes more sense to do your layout stuff at the beginning, your major layouts, and then do your pieces that go into the layouts, okay, or your views that go in the layouts. There we go. Now it's starting to make a little bit more sense. So we're dealing with our answer text. Well, let's see, answer text was after number text. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it again. And it takes a little bit more time to do this stuff sometimes, but it helps you. If you have to come back to it again, it really helps you to figure out what's going on with the code. There. Now that's a better arrangement for the code, like this. Okay, all the way down you got your number text. Those are actually being put in first, your number text. Okay, then your answer text formatting. You're dealing with your buttons here. Let's see, your buttons were next. Okay, so the buttons should actually fall. I'm going to go ahead and cut that out and put it right in between. And there. Okay, so now the buttons were next when we actually dropped them in the layout. Okay, so I'm thinking in terms of how things are laid out and then putting my code that way as well. So then the buttons were put in there. Answer text, that part. Okay, I'm going to put that above here and put a space here to give us a little clarity. One of the things that you folks should remember is readability in your code. That's very, very important. Okay, there. Now everything's laid out in pretty good sense. Alright, now this is where we're doing the formatting. Now we're doing some functional stuff here. Now we're actually doing our layout stuff here. Alright, so you actually have you've got a number of different sections to your code. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, now that we've got the answer text, now we have all of that done. Believe me, folks, the little bit of time you spend doing this stuff will really help you. Alright, so I'm going to move down and we're going to continue with the banner text formatting. So under the banner, see, banner text probably makes more sense right above here, right about here. All right, so we'll go here, and we'll say banner. Now we're going to set the width. Remember, this is a text view, so we can get away with using the set width. Where those edit texts, we had to do that a little bit differently. So banner view, okay, we're going to go banner, let's see, banner text dot, and set the width, and we'll go ahead and we'll stretch that across the screen a little bit. Let's make that about 300, so it gives us the full. Now that might vary depending on the device that you're programming too. You have to remember that the 300 pixels. It might be 400, might be, it depends on your needs. Alright, now the next thing we're going to do is we want this to center itself. So when we drop it in here, when we put it above here, we want it to center itself. So we're going to go banner text, okay, set gravity, and we'll make sure that the gravity, oops, okay, this is all, see, okay, gravity, and we want it to center horizontally, back and forth, right there. Alright, so center horizontal. Now it'll center itself. When it drops in, it'll center itself. Alright, next thing we're going to want to do is we're probably going to want to change the text size of it. We want some nice big text up there for our banner. So, banner text dot, and we're going to set text size. Now, this is a lot like the one we did up there for our other text. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and set text size. And in here, we're going to use the typeface. We're going to reach into the, actually the typed value class and pull out a variable way of making our text size. So we're going to go typed value, reach into the typed value class, and pull out the, let's see, hang tight real quick, SP, see, unit SP, there we go. Okay, did I get, no, I didn't, I wanted, complex unit SP, correct, that's what we need. Now we're going to say, let's go ahead and make this 50 in size. Okay, so we're going to make it big, like that. Now if we scroll up a little bit, or scroll down, let's see, we did it right here too, see this? When we did our text size for our answer, we changed that, or we set that at 20 using the same technique. Matter of fact, that answer is a little small there, so we might want to bump that size up a little bit. Let's put it about 30 on there and see what we get for that answer text. Alright, now back to the banner text. The banner text, one more thing, let's make this a like an Arial font. Let's change the font, and I'm going to do it real simple. I'm not going to do any complex way of doing this. I want to keep this simple for you guys. So later on we'll learn more complex techniques. So banner text, and we're going to set the typeface, okay, and that typeface, we're going to say reach into, there's actually an object or a class called a typeface class. We're going to say reach into the typeface class and pull out, and I'll do that. Reach into the typeface class and pull out a sans serif. And this is the one that's like Arial that doesn't have little tails at the bottom of the letters. It's usually a lot more readable on devices. So then a comma. And then we're also going to tell it, make it bold. Make it nice and bold. So typeface dot bold. Okay. So it'll be bold Arial basically. And because we're going sans serif, it won't actually pull an Arial up. It'll pull up whatever the sans serif font is that's on the particular device, which makes it a little bit better. It's a little bit more generic. If you had said Arial and the device didn't have Arial, then it's going to complain. But usually if you say sans serif, it'll pull up the proper type of font. Alright, we've got that done now. Now we need to change the text on that. And probably the best thing to do is go like this. Banner text. Okay, we're going to set the text, and we're going to put in there, in that banner, you can put whatever you want. Okay, I'm going to put my little PI for Programmers Institute, and then I'll go PI Quick Calculator. Like that. And we'll see the result here in a second. Alright, so now we've got our banner text, and we've got a PI Quick Calculator. Don't forget to put your double quotes on both sides. There you go. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and we need to drop this banner text into our regular layout. Alright, so we're going to come down here. I'll scroll this a little bit. And we want it to drop it in first so that it falls right above. Alright, so we're going to put it above here. This is our regular layout right here, our vertical layout. Okay, we're going to add view. And we'll add the banner. Like that. Alright, now we'll go ahead and run it. We'll see what it looks like. So we'll run. Yep. Okay, it'll pop up. Yep, there we go. And we'll watch for a second here, and we'll see how it goes. And you should see this banner pop up. Now, it might not look really great for you guys, but I'm just showing you. See now, see how it says PI Quick Calculator. See that? And then everything else falls below. So that should be helpful to you as far as how to kind of format a little banner. You can put graphics in this thing. I haven't got around to doing graphics yet, but I will later on for you. Okay, one thing that we're going to want to do too is we want to get rid of this thing right here. It says main activity. That's the name of our particular class that we're running. Okay, so the easiest way to do that, there is a special little code that you can put in here right after this starts up. You can put in request window feature. Okay, and now we're going to put a request. We're going to have it request a window feature, and so we're going to reach into the window class, and we're going to grab out the feature no title right here. That's a feature. Where to go? Feature. There it is. Feature no title. Okay, so that's going to remove this title that's right here. All right, and just to show you, I'll go ahead and we'll save it, and we'll run it and say OK. All right, that will help it look a little bit better. Then the next thing that we're going to want to do is we're probably going to want to color it. Color that text that we've got going there, right here. So let's go ahead. Well, let's do the background. As a matter of fact, notice, by the way, notice that thing's gone. Let's do the background on this layout. And let's change the background color. Now you can choose, there's ways to choose just about any color you want for this. But I'm going to show you the very basic way to do it. Then you can explore from there. So layout 1. Let's set the background color. Okay, now we need to reach into the color. Here, I'll show you. So color. There. Into the color class. And now we're going to pick out the color that we want out of here. Alright, in this case, I'm going to do just a blue. Yeah, it might look kind of so-so, but it'll be okay for the moment. If I scroll down through here a little bit, I want to show you something. You can actually start specifying particular colors by specifying the degree of alpha, red, green, and blue. There's different ways to actually make custom colors in here this way. Alright, but for now, we'll just stick with a basic color. It's just for the demonstration purposes. Okay, so we'll make that background blue. And I'll show you what that looks like real quick. We'll pop it up and say OK. Alright, so we've made it blue. and it's probably a little bit too much for you, but you can use that custom color to play with that a little bit and actually create a custom color in there to make it better, look better for you. But notice it's a little hard to read. This PI calculator, we'll deal with that here in a second. I'm gonna I'm gonna turn it a very gaudy yellow. That will probably at least stand out for what that's worth. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and do that. This banner, we want to tell the banner here. We're gonna say banner, set your text color. Oops, banner text. My apologies. Set your text color, or set your. Yeah, I missed it. Here, we gotta go back. We want to set text color. The reason why I'm going to go back to the dot is so that I can show you what pops up. Set text color. I did it to me again. Alright. Set text color. There. Alright. And I'll press enter. And we're going to go ahead and choose. We'll reach into the color class. And I'm just going to choose yellow. You know, it's like I say, it's going to be a bit gaudy, but for our purposes, it'll be okay. This is just for teaching and training. Alright, so we'll change that color. But at the same time, I also want to put a little space. If you have noticed right here that we need a little bit of space right there in order to make it a little bit more clear. So I'm going to go right here and go banner, text. And do you guys remember what you'd use for spacing, or at least for what I've showed you here? Okay, that's going to be the padding. And we're going to set the bottom padding this time. So, okay, we're going to set, okay, padding. And remember, we got our left, top, bottom, right. So I'm going to go, the only one I'm going to change is the bottom in this case. So 0. And we'll change the top to 0. We'll change the right to 0. And then finally the bottom, we'll add a little bit of padding there. And we will put about, oh, I'd say, let's go about 10. Let's put about 10 spacing in there. Alright, so we'll put a little padding there. We'll change that to yellow. Okay, I'm going to run it up and say OK. And then we'll see what changes take place there in a second. I want you to also notice that it's a little hard to read that that answer down here. See this? Your answer text? We may want to modify that a little bit as well. But notice, yes, it's a little gaudy, but you notice here you got your banner now. PI quick calculator. Okay, it's functional. The only thing is, this is a little hard to read. So let's go ahead and we're going to set our text color. Let's make it, I'd say white. Let's make that white right there. That's our answer text. So let's go to our answer text. And we just, now that everything's all grouped together, it's easy to find it. So answer text, set text color. Alright, and color dot, we'll go white. We'll see what that looks like. We'll see if we can read it. Alright, so we'll go ahead, run it, say yes. Alright, and it'll pop up there. In a second that'll come up and we'll take a look at what that looks like. And that should pretty much format this little application so that at least it's, you know, somewhat visible. So now, this is all, we're all done with this. We can enter numbers in it. We'll do our final test. We got 5. We'll throw, I don't know, we'll throw an 8. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and we'll do the plus. We got to get rid of the keyboard. Get plus, that's 13, yep. Negative 3, okay. So you get 40 when you multiply and divide about 0.625. Now there's one last thing for you, and I mentioned it before. We want to be able to put not only an integer in here, we want to be able to put a point and then a fractional part. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our number text up here. our number text, and we're going to add in to, right now we're saying use just numbers. I'm going to show you a special way to do this. You can put in the a straight line like that, and it's located above your enter key if you hold your shift and that straight up and down line like that. Okay, so we're going to do that, and we're going to put another input type classification in there. This is called a bit mask, by the way, behind the scenes. So input type dot, and in this case we're going to say number type flag decimal. So number type, let's see, number, where'd it go? Okay, type number flag decimal. Type number, and it's in here somewhere. I'm going to type it, that way it'll pop up. Okay, it's probably easier to do it that way. Okay, type underscore number. There it is, number flag decimal. It's easier to find that way. We're also going to add this one in. I'll show you in a second. See, so decimal. Notice how it pushes it over. Now you can add spaces if you need to in this stuff, by the way. Or you can press enter, and a lot of times you can press enter and it'll help you format your code. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and throw another one of these straight up and down lines and do the same thing again. Input type. We'll reach into the input type class, and we're going to grab that type, okay, underscore and number, and this time we're going to grab the flag signed like that. This will allow you to have a number or enter a decimal or enter a signed number. So you can put negatives up here for your signed numbers. You can also put your decimal in. Now we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to copy this section that I just added in to this one like that. Copy, and I'm going to put it in the other text box. So both text boxes, you can put in a sign or a decimal number. Okay, I'm going to save it, and there we go. Alright, now everything for this let's see, I'm going to cancel for a minute. Everything for this calculator now is done for what I wanted to show you for this video. I hope these things helped you out. There are some other things that we can do to make this code better. And as time goes on, I'll show you more and more techniques. We can condense our code. We can have, that way we can have less code to have to scroll through. We can kind of crunch some of this stuff together. We can actually create a singular listener and feed it some information so that it just does whatever we want based on the button that's pressed. But for now, this will give you at least something to work with to get you started making some of those cool apps out there. Alright? Well, I hope this helped. By the way, I'm going to put this little program right here as is. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to condense it and turn it into an Android application, and I'll put it up on Google Play, so that you guys can download this to use it to see what it does. And then I'll also put up a video or another application with all 5 of the videos for this particular code, and they'll be kind of like a companion. You'll have a companion app that goes along with this calculator, so that you can actually see the calculator and actually go through the videos on the other app if you so desire. Or you can go out to YouTube. Either way. Anyway, I hope this all helps, and you all have a great day.